Fox Sports.
We are Black Horse. We are Wisconsin.
Sunday baseball here at Miller Park. The Brewers and the Reds getting ready for their series and season finale. The Brewers are looking to snap an 8-game losing streak, and to do so, they are going to have to play shorthanded. A number of injuries this week for the Brewers have left the Brewers shorthanded. Craig Counsell saying it has certainly been a tough week for his guys, trying to get everybody healthy and even putting a lineup together this morning. But he does have a full squad ready to go here. We're getting ready for first pitch. So let's take a look at what happened last night. The Brewers lost 3 players in last night's loss. On this play, Chris Davis, he would leave the game twisting his right ankle, running the bases. That was the bottom of the 7th. And then in the following inning, a very scary play. Skip Schumacher hits a ball down the third baseline. Left fielder Shane Peterson, third baseman Elian Herrera would collide on that play, trying to make a catch. They would both leave the game. Shane Peterson with a right knee contusion. Elian Herrera was taken off in an ambulance. X-rays revealed there was no fractures, but he does have a deep right thigh contusion. Craig Counsell saying they are very fortunate these injuries were not more serious.
Yeah, we've dodged serious stuff. So we've dodged serious injuries. And some scary looking plays for sure. So it's been a rough week.
Athletic trainer Dan Wright and his staff have been very busy this week catering to a number of Brewers injuries. Ryan Braun has missed games with back tightness. He is out of the lineup tonight. Jimmy Nelson hit by a line drive in Thursday's game. He will see a neurologist tomorrow to be cleared for play later this week. And then the 3 today, they are all out. Chris Davis, twisted right ankle. He's day-to-day. They're hopeful he'll be available for Chicago. Shane Peterson also out, and Elian Herrera, it will be a few days for him. But BA and Rock, they're here. They're healthy. Domingo Santana had a career night, 5 RBIs. BA and Rock. We'll take a look at Santana's big night last night.
Johnson is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers. It's Miller time. And we welcome you back from Miller Park, getting ready for our final game of the series. Anthony DeSclafani on the mound for the Reds against Ariel Pena for the Brewers. Looking forward to this final matchup. The Brewers are in salvage mode here today. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Our reporter today is Sophia Minnaert, and we're set for Game 3 of this 3-game series. The Brewers are headed on the road beginning tomorrow, going to Wrigley Field, but they're trying to pick up a win and snap this long losing streak, Rock. And there's a guy, because it is Sunday, for all of our Spanish-speaking friends, how about we talk about Domingo Santana? What a performance last night.
Yeah, he's just doing it with raw ability here at the major league level. But when you look at his minor league career, it's been all about offense. I mean, this guy's hit everywhere he's been. In last night's ball game, 3 hits, 5 RBIs, an incredible job of hitting the ball where it's pitched. He pulls a double down the line. Then he hit a home run into right center. Incredible power for this young man. I mean, didn't even get good extension on it. Ball just flies off his bat into that bullpen. That was a 2-run shot, and then this gave the Brewers the lead late in the ball game. A base hit to right, so he's hitting baseballs to left, center, right field. You can only imagine what he's going to be able to do when he starts learning how to hit big league pitching.
You know, you combine all of his numbers this year, 26 homers, 93 RBIs. He's in the lineup. Series finale coming up. Brewers trying to snap an 8-game slide. We've got the lineups in the first pitch coming your way next from Miller Park. A lot of great things you could do today, but why not hang out at Miller Park? And Miller Park Jr., that's an actual grill, ladies and gentlemen. That is one of the best things ever. Roof is open on that grill, and the roof is open at Miller Park. What a day for baseball we have. And Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Sunny and 70. It's got that touch of fall in the air, and the season beginning to wind down for the Milwaukee Brewers. This is one of 4 remaining home games at Miller Park this season. The Brewers will have the Cubs in early October to wrap it up. Brian Price and the Reds, last matchup with them here today, last matchup of the series. and the season, and the Brewers are trying to salvage this final game of the series. Here is the batting order for Brian Price. It's brought to you by Potawatomi. Ryan Lamar leads off. Ivan De Jesus Jr. batting second, then Joey Votto. Middle of the order is Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce, and Eugenio Suarez. Adam Duvall, Tucker Barnhart, and Anthony Desclafani will round it out. The starting nine that will face Ariel Pena, one of the three rookies in the Brewers starting rotation currently.
Yeah, making his third start. Fourth appearance. His one and only win came against Cincinnati. Now, in Cincinnati, that was part of a doubleheader he picked up for Willie Peralta after the rains came in Game 2. He's got good numbers, a 346 earned run average. And he made 7 starts down in AAA, 1-1, a 237 earned run average. Coming off a very good start against the Cardinals here at Miller Park. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run.
Todd Frazier appears to be in a standoff with John Shelby post national anthem, and John Shelby has won the national anthem standoff. Congratulations to T-Bone. Ariel Pena deals strike one, and away we go. What a victory it is.
Yeah, see, T-Bone a little bit smarter about it. He was right up against the railing. You know, Frazier was out by the grass. He just can't stand out there, right? Good job, T-Bone.
Veteran move. Lamar into center field, and that'll be Santana at the last moment deciding he'd catch it. He's taller, he catches it, and that's how we start the day.
Well, let's check out the Brewers Menards defense. A lot of changes out there today. On this Sunday afternoon, you got Jason Rogers getting a start at first base, his only start in the big leagues in the outfield. Schaefer Santana rounds out the outfield. Perez Sardinius with a start at short, no Segura. Scooter Gennett at second base, Adam Lind at first, and Ashley behind home plate.
Clint Fagan will call the balls and strikes. That is the crew chief right there, Joe West. He's out at second base today. Shadows could be an issue today. It's a day for the pitcher with the shadows of the roof creeping out towards the mound as we carry on today. Those late September shadows. There's the soft liner right to second base. Jeanette's got it. And 2 quick outs for Ariel Pena. Brewers need a good start. They need someone to go deep into a game and settle things down. Brewers have not been able to get any consistent starting pitching here lately. And when you lose 8 straight games, it's typically what's happening on the mound. The Brewers are scoring some runs.
They just can't keep the other team off the board. The longest start in his homestand, or this time through the rotation, Zach Davies went 6 innings a few days ago. A lot of stress on that bullpen right now. It's starting to show up.
Joey Votto with 2 away. He has been one of the best hitters in the game once again this season. A comeback year for him after he battled injuries last season. Lost a lot of weight. Went to the slim cut uniform, and he's responded with big numbers. If the Reds were in contention, Votto would be putting himself into the MVP conversation at this point.
Yeah, the only down number for him, the RBIs, is 75, but that's not necessarily his issue. Hey, guys getting on base in front of him, but everything else is right up there amongst league leaders.
Now Votto comes in with a .315 batting average. 7th in the National League in that category. He's in the top 10 in the league in home runs as well. He's 7th, actually tied for 6th in homers. Only Bryce Harper with a higher on base percentage than Votto, and he is 3rd in the league in slugging percentage. 3-2 pitch, and Votto takes ball 4, and that's something he does better than anybody else in the big leagues. That is walk number 134 for Joey Votto.
They got to be patient with that guy for sure. I mean, that's the one guy in this lineup. Even when there's 2 outs and nobody on, you don't want to mess around. I mean, take you deep like he did in this series already. Votto with a home run yesterday. Nobody really even close to Votto in the walk department.
So a 2-out base runner. Here is Brandon Phillips. Reds have most of their key hitters in the lineup with the exception of Frazier. Phillips pops this one up. Lynn's got room and he'll make the catch to end the first inning. Scoreless first for Ariel Pena. Now the Brewers coming up. Afternoon. The Reds failed to score in the first, and now the Brewers coming up for the first time. There is Craig Counsell, and his Brewers have dropped 8 straight, trying to get things back in order. A ton of injuries to deal with, as Sophia reported in our open here this afternoon. So Counsell's batting order looks like this today, with Jeanette, Schaefer, and Lind at the top. Rogers, Santana, and Perez in the middle of the batting order, with Sardinhas getting the call at shortstop. Devin Ashley and Ariel Pena. That lineup brought to you by Potawatomi. And there is Anthony DeSclafani on the mound for Cincinnati.
And another rookie starter for the Cincinnati Reds. So all 6 starters in this series, all rookies. DeSclafani is looking to be the first Reds pitcher ever, the first rookie starter ever to lead the staff in wins, innings pitched, and strikeouts. A pretty good season for him so far this year. 9-10 with a 367 earned run average. He's won his last 2.
Had a very good game against the Brewers back in April. Went 8 shutout in that game. He's only 25 years of age. Originally drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. Scooter Gennett leads off, breaks his bat, and a slow roll to short. This is Suarez with a long throw in time for out number 1.
Well, let's check out the Menards Reds defense. The Reds pretty good defensively all season long. Duval, Lemaire, and Bruce in the outfield. You got Iman DeJesus. You can see DeJesus has started in 5 different positions all around the infield and in the outfield. So very versatile out there. Suarez, Phillips up the middle. Joey Votto at first, and Tucker Barnhart once again behind home plate.
Now those shadows creeping out across home plate. That'll be something hitters have to deal with the rest of the afternoon. It is advantage pitcher on a beautiful sunny day like this. Logan Schaefer in the lineup once again, batting second. Brewers are without a number of their outfielders here today. Sophia will have more on that story a little bit later, but no Chris Davis. He is available to pinch hit, but not available to start. And Shane Peterson is also available to pinch hit, not available to start though. And Ryan Braun, I'm not sure he's available to do anything. He's out with a strained back, and the Brewers are limping in here in the final 14 games of the 2015 season.
Yep, and Elian Herrera not available to do anything as well. Herrera, things turned out pretty good for Elian. I mean, it looked pretty bad for him. He was on the ground, got carted off yesterday, but ended up being a bruise to that thigh. He was fortunate.
I see that wrap on Peterson's right arm. There were a lot of lacerations on his forearm and wrist from the spikes of Herrera in that collision, and it was Peterson's knee that did the significant damage to Elian.
I guess when you think about it, the Brewers fortunate that it wasn't worse. Been a rough homestand in that regard.
No doubt. Unable to win a game on the homestand. Brewers got swept by the Cardinals, trying to avoid that fate here today. And then serious injuries, could have been very serious, long-lasting injuries. Jimmy Nelson extremely fortunate that he came out of his injury as he did. Line drive off the head. And then last night we had another long delay. Herrera was taken off on an ambulance cart. And as it turns out, Herrera has a deep bone bruise and is going to be out for a while. Not sure if he'll be able to return this season, but x-rays did not reveal a fracture. Herrera thought he had broken his leg, the upper thigh. Schaefer's got it in a full count. And a ground ball in the hole. That's through for a base hit. Clean single to right for Logan Schaefer. Well, in case you have missed what has gone on here this week, the Brewers with two very scary injuries. Tommy Pham hit one off the head of Jimmy Nelson earlier in the week, and then yesterday Davis, who has a surgically repaired right knee, ended up being an ankle sprain. And on this little flare, the collision, the violent collision between Peterson and Elian Herrera, that was so scary. And both players had to come out. They took Herrera off. X-rays came back negative. So that's some of the injury situations that the Brewers have dealt with this week.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better outcome based on what it could have been. Well, Peterson's ready to go. Got some scrapes. Craig Counsell's just trying to find a lineup to throw out there today. He's got Jason Rogers in left field. So you want to be a manager.
That's right. And his first year as a manager, Craig Counsell is getting the ultimate test this season. It's easy to manage when you're winning games and everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
Different story in a season like this. Counsell knew what was ahead. Adam Lind, and with the shift on, he's able to muscle it through. So a base hit. The Reds had three infielders on that side, but Lind hits it hard. And 2 on with 1 away. Good start for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, Lind's starting to swing the bat well again. Well, he hit a bullet up into center field last night. A couple of hits against lefties last night for Lind, and that one, you see where it ended up down the middle of the plate and beats the shift. Brandon Phillips not quick enough to get there. That was a changeup.
Lind now 3 for 6 in this series. Has 5 hits on the homestand. He's 5 for 14. He's been swinging the bat well. Continues his hot hitting against the Reds. He's got a batting average over 380 against Cincinnati pitching this season. That includes 4 of his 19 homers. So with 1 out, first and second now for Jason Rogers. Rogers finished the game in left field last night after Peterson was removed. He played over 60 games in left field in the minor leagues. But by no means is he a left fielder. He is a hitter. And the Brewers are trying to find ways to get him in the lineup because he's swinging the bat very well right now.
Yeah, he's moved all over the place defensively just to keep his bat in the lineup. Third base, first base, outfield. You name it down in the minor leagues just to find a spot for him.
Now, all but 2 of his starts as a big leaguer this year have come at first base. Did make a start at third base earlier in the season, and today gets his first start in left field. Rogers is 3 for 4 in this series, in a run producing role here in the first inning. And he goes. A swinging strike called by Clint Fagan, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, that's that slider from DeSclafani. Fastball in the low 90s. Got a slider. That changeup and a curveball. He's got a pretty good changeup. Not afraid to use it to left-handers. Brewers have a fair amount of lefties in the lineup today.
Rogers has homered in this series, and he is the club leader in pinch hits this season. Is 11 for 44 off the bench. That's a very tough job to have success off the bench. Normally you see veteran players in that role. Rarely do you see players coming up from the minor leagues succeed in that role. Rogers has been the exception. That's what kept him around in the beginning, his ability to pinch hit. Now he's working his way into the lineup a little more regularly and should get some playing time over the next few days. Take you back to Friday. Jason Rogers popped his 4th home run, making his 3rd home run of the season, and it was a no-doubter into the Lowe's level.
Yeah, quick hands in that inside corner. That's Sam LeCure. He's got a good eye at the plate. Very patient for a young hitter coming off the bench. That's why he's had the success. Good on base percentage, over 360.
DeSclafani at a 2-2 count. Schaefer at second. He runs well. Lind at first, and that's going to make it 3-2. So Rogers, who is down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes, has worked it into a 3-2 count. Brewers trying to do early damage on rookie Anthony DeSclafani.
And I think the fact that Rogers is a patient hitter and willing to hit the ball all over the field is why Craig Counsell's got him in the cleanup spot today. Not often you see a young kid who doesn't play much be thrown right into the cleanup spot, but there he is today.
Runners go, and a ground ball. Backhanded, jump throw, long throw, and it is not in time. Rogers beats it out.
There's a heck of a play by Suarez. I would imagine the Reds are going to want to take a look at that one. All close plays, you would figure that they're going to take a look at the review.
Brian Price has stepped out, and he's asking for a replay here. Wants to challenge the call on the field.
This is an incredible play by Suarez. The throw all the way in the air.
Yeah, I think he got him.
I think he might have got him. You know, he tried to jump at first base. This last long stride might have cost him the base. And it looks like just by a split hair.
Well, the other thing you got to watch is Joey Votto's right foot. Was his foot still on the bag? And looks like it was there. That is some kind of play. You're right.
Yeah, pretty close play. It looks like he might have been out, but yeah, for Suarez just make that close was a great play. It looks like he might get a call.
Joe West is the crew chief.
I think if Rogers runs through the bag and doesn't jump at first base, he might beat it.
Rogers just saw the replay on the big screen and is aware of his fate at this point. That was a Derek Jeter type jump throw from deep in the hole at short for Eugenio Suarez. Impressive. Here's the call. He's out, and the inning. Check out the second out of the inning. Runners advance to second and third on the play. So instead of bases loaded and 1 out, 2 away with runners at second and third.
You got to have an incredible arm to be able to pull this off. Getting there is not the issue, but that throw, incredible, right on the money, and just barely able to get Rogers. Oh, a great play at short.
That'll be one of the best of the day in the big leagues. Going to be hard to top that one. So it'll bring up Santana. Domingo batting with 2 outs.
I know how Jason Rogers feels in that play. It just seems like first base is never going to get there. It just keeps getting further and further away the more you run. You know, guys that don't run all that well.
It's like that hallway in the Twilight Zone, you know?
Yeah, come on.
Just keeps going.
Just a little bit faster, Jason. You got a base hit.
Let's see if Santana can pick him up. Domingo had a 2 RBI double yesterday. That's a slow roller foul. Career day yesterday for Santana. Unfortunately, the Brewers lost the game. But Domingo with 5 runs batted in. Santana, the 10th Brewer with a 5 or more RBI game this season. Lind, Ramirez, Gomez had a couple. Herrera, Chris Davis has had 2, and Braun's had a couple. And now Santana on that list. Santana also hit a 2-run home run last night. Just a flick of the wrist. This guy has so much pop, and just launched it out of here against Tony Cingrani. Powerball home run number 6 as a Brewer. That's number 26 for the season combined.
Yeah, most of his home runs have come into center field or into right center.
1-2 pitch, and down he goes. A strikeout. So the Brewers threaten, but fail to score. And the inning is over as Santana does not run that one out on that pitch in the dirt. Nice play by Suarez.
The Reds and manager Craig Counsell said that all things considered, despite an 8-game losing streak, it has been a very tough week for his crew, but they still feel very fortunate considering the injuries that they have had this week. You see there, it's full screen. Jimmy Nelson hit in the head on Thursday. Ryan Braun has missed a few games with a bad back. And then last night, they lose 3 players. Shane Peterson, a right knee contusion, and Chris Davis twisted a right ankle running the bases. But the biggest concern was Elian Herrera, who had to be carted off. And speaking with Herrera before the game today, he is very, very sore this morning as expected. And he said he was just in so much pain last night after the play. He said he couldn't breathe, and he was almost certain that there was some kind of fracture. So very relieved to avoid that, and said, you know, he didn't see Peterson coming in on the play. And so it was just a very scary collision, but fortunate to have no serious injury. There's no timeline for him as well. He said it'll likely be a couple of days. He's not able to walk yet, so it'll be a few days for Elian Herrera. But all things considered, Craig Counsell said things could be much, much worse.
All right, thanks, Sophia. And he's right. And
couple of days. I mean, when it first happened, it seemed like a career-threatening injury.
It did.
Down on the field, but you know, Couldn't ask for a better scenario, as we've been saying about all these injuries and the things that have happened on this homestand.
Well, Jay Bruce leads off for Cincinnati. We are scoreless in the second inning. Final matchup between these two teams this season, and been a very disappointing season for both of these ball clubs. And Jay Bruce turns that one around. That's going to fly way out of here. My goodness, Bruce to the back of the bleachers. And a home run gives the Reds the lead. That's number 23 for Jay Bruce. To second in the series.
They hit one to the opposite field in the left center early in this series, and now that was a blast. Way back in the second deck and right. Fastball out over the plate. He knew he hit it. First home run allowed by Pena in now 4 appearances. Good extension and knocks that one way back. 1-0 Reds.
That'll bring up Eugenio Suarez. Just made a fantastic play at shortstop. Now you could tell that had the sound right on the barrel. Left the bat at 104.7 miles an hour. A pop up. Shallow right center. Schaefer is under it, and there is the first out of the second inning.
Pena basically fastball slider. I mean, he's messing around a little bit with the changeup. We've seen him throw a few of them, but if you're going to be effective at this level as a starting pitcher, you've got to be able to have that off-speed pitch, either a slow curveball, changeup, to keep those left-handed hitters honest.
Well, in 44 combined innings as a starter this year, starting games in AAA and here in the big leagues, this is his 4th start, or his 3rd start, 4th appearance. But in all of his starts, he had only given up 2 home runs coming into play here today. And that's saying a lot pitching in Colorado Springs. There's a line drive to left. Duvall goes up the ladder, slaps one to left field for a 1-out single.
Yeah, 7 starts for Pena down in the minor leagues at .237 earned run average. Also worked 36 appearances out of the bullpen. And his last 7 appearances down in the minor leagues were all starts. Brewers trying to stretch him out, anticipating giving him an opportunity to make some starts up in the major leagues. 5 innings in each of his last 2 starts. Brewers are hoping for a little bit more out of him today.
Pena came to the Brewers in the Zach Greinke deal. Traded Greinke to the Angels in 2012, and Pena was one of the 3 that they got in return. Gene Segura was in that trade, and Johnny Helwig the other. His first year in the big leagues, Ariel Pena. Swing and a miss. Tucker Barnhart, the Cincinnati catcher. In the left center, Schaefer is there, and Barnhart is retired. 2 men are out. Back to first goes Duvall, and that'll bring up the pitcher, DeSclafani.
Yeah, not an easy out at home plate. Swings the bat pretty well. 173 batting average. Got to make your pitches.
He has 9 hits this season. 3 runs batted in. Reds made a nice trade picking up DeSclafani. He was in the Matt Latos deal. He's been a part of 2 trades, 2 big ones. The first trade he was involved in was a blockbuster. That was that deal between the Blue Jays and the Miami Marlins. DeSclafani was on the Toronto to Miami part of that. Driving to right center field, going back on it is Schaefer, and he has room to make the catch. That will end the inning. Jay Bruce goes deep, and the Reds strike first here this afternoon. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham, 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. Reds are up 1-0 on a Jay Bruce home run in the top of the second inning. Say a reminder that 2 weeks from today, the Crew will close out the 2015 season with a Sunday afternoon showdown against the Chicago Cubs. All fans at Miller Park for the Crew season finale on Sunday, October 4th will receive a free Brewers retro knit cap. Visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot today. Get you set up for the wintertime. Hernan Perez, first ball swinging, ground ball right to Suarez, and he makes the play for out number one. One pitch and one out for DeSclafani. DeSclafani, a nice find for Cincinnati. Not often do you get a mainstay in your rotation, but they traded a good pitcher. At least the Marlins hoped that Matt Latos would be a difference maker for them. He ended up being shipped to Los Angeles, and I tell you, his career is a little bit suspect right now. Matt Latos, he's bounced around from San Diego to Cincinnati to Miami. Now he's with the Dodgers, and now the Reds are here with a 25-year-old talent that's been able to take the ball every fifth day, and he's put up good numbers in that hitter-friendly ballpark.
Man, Latos, when he first burst onto the scene, looked like he was going to have a nice career.
He looked like an ace.
San Diego, Cincinnati, and as you mentioned, you went through the list, but it's been interesting. Just haven't been able to put it together. You know, injuries, and this hasn't been that pitcher that everybody thought he would be.
Luis Sardinas in the starting lineup at short today, and therefore Gene Segura. That's his natural position, the position he feels most comfortable at. And he's a switch hitter. Let's see if he can bring some offense to the table. A matchup of two players that were both traded. Sardinas coming from the Rangers. Ground ball to third, picked up by De Jesus. High throw, but the tag is there from Votto. And Sardinas is retired.
Well, maybe taking the throw for granted just a little bit. De Jesus airmails this one, but Votto able to pick him up Gets off the bag and makes the tag before Luis is able to hit first base.
And a couple of ground ball outs for DeSclafani. That's when he's right, when he gets ground balls with regularity. And 4 of his 5 outs are ground ball outs here today. Nevin Ashley in the starting lineup.
Yeah,
enjoying every minute of his big league experience.
And he's thinking, at least it's not Aroldis Chapman.
His last 2 at-bats have come against Chapman. There's a slow roller, barehand pickup and a throw that's in time. Goodness. The Reds are throwing some leather around this afternoon. Specifically the left side of that infield. A heck of a play to win the inning. Top of the 3rd now at Miller Park. Say the Milwaukee Bucks are taking the show on the road with the 2nd annual Milwaukee Bucks Own the Future statewide tour. You can meet the Young Bucks, Jabari Parker and Rashad Vaughn, along with Bango and the Bucks dancers. Other Bucks entertainers are there as well. They'll hitch a ride on the Fox Sports Wisconsin Bucks Fan Express. Make stops throughout the state of Wisconsin this weekend. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com for the full schedule of appearances. Ariel Pena back on the mound. He starts his 3rd inning. He's given up 2 hits and a walk. One of those hits, a Jay Bruce home run. 1-0 Cincinnati as Ryan Lamar will start at top of the Reds order. We've seen Lamar in center field each of the last 2 nights as a defensive replacement. Lamar 2 hits in the big leagues.
Yeah, that's the thing when you're not getting a lot of playing time. You know, kids coming up and going in for defense. You might get 1 at bat. You get one, couple at bats in a 3-game series, and you just can't get the rhythm. Can't get comfortable at the plate.
Used to playing every day as well as Pena with that nasty slider strikes him out. First K for Ariel Pena. 1 gone here in the 3rd.
Yeah, that's the pitch that worked so well for him against the St. Louis Cardinals his last start. Good slider. He had 5 strikeouts in that game against St. Louis. Now you put that slider down there, you're not going to get hurt too bad. 5 innings, 4 hits, only 1 run against St. Louis in his last start. He got a no decision.
So 1 away. Here is Ivan DeJesus Jr., son of a big leaguer by the same name. He's getting the start at 3rd base today. Last start came in San Francisco. He played shortstop. Actually had a 3 RBI game in his last start. He's bounced all around, though. He's played third and left field, second base, shortstop, even played first base.
They started at 5 different positions so far this year. That'll get you some at bats throughout the year. You can move all over the place, play in the outfield.
2 balls, 1 strike on to Jesus Jr. Up and in, 3-1. Ariel Pena began the season as a reliever, spent most of the year at AAA pitching out of the bullpen. But the Brewers sent orders down to get him into the starting rotation. He made 7 starts. His last 7 games in AAA were all starts, including his lone victory as a starting pitcher, which was his last start before his promotion. That was a 6-inning game against Omaha on the 31st of August. And then he came up to the big leagues. He pitched out of the bullpen against the Reds. That was his big league debut, and he got a win that day. That was after a long rain delay knocked Willie Peralta out of the game after 2 innings. Pena went 3 innings, got a victory. Made a start against Miami, pitched well again against the Cardinals. It's just a pitch count situation for Ariel Pena right now. They don't want to push him too much. He really hasn't gone over 100 pitches. He hasn't gone over 94 pitches in any start in any appearance this season, AAA or the major leagues.
Well, but Craig Counts was hoping he does today. He needs it. He needs a good long start, at least 6 innings.
Ground ball right to the shortstop. Sardinhas will wind it up, and there is the second out, and a good comeback for Pena, down 3-1. All right, Rock, our carsoup.com trivia question on this beautiful Sunday. Who was the last National League MVP to play for a last place team? Ooh, that's a good question. That's got double meaning in this series, because you got Votto, who won an MVP, and Ryan Braun, who won an MVP. And these two teams are fighting to get out of the cellar as Votto grounds out. 3 up and 3 down for Ariel Pena. He'll lead off when we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Enjoying their time. They don't care about the records. They're just here to have a good time with mom and pop. Good to see him here. It is now time for you to tweet us your strongest fan photo using hashtag WisDataStrongFan. You just might see yourself at an upcoming broadcast, and it's all thanks to T-Mobile. Had some fun with that this year. Good crowd on a Sunday. Got the Packers in play tonight Little Sunday night football. Good sports day in Wisconsin. And what a beautiful day we have for it. Ariel Pena will lead off. The Brewer pitcher will start it against DeSclafani. Pena's still looking for that first major league hit. There's a trophy case waiting for him. Everything looks good for Pena at this point, and then it all starts to fall apart about right there. About halfway to the plate.
When the knees buckle?
When the rear end goes into the other dugout, the knees buckle and the feet move from one place to another in the batter's box. There we go. And that's an out. Not unexpected, however. He's going to have his moment, and it's going to be glorious.
Will get a hit at some point.
I don't know. He hasn't made much contact.
Took Willie a while this year. Willie Peralta finally got his first hit.
Well, he can pitch. That's all that matters. Top of the order, here is Scooter Gennett.
All those things you're just talking about with Pena, you were talking about my hack.
Step in the bucket. Gennett on the first pitch, a shot to second base. Phillips for the out, 2 away.
Knees buckling. Pulling the head.
You're a tremendous slouch, Rod.
I did all that in the big leagues, not in the minor leagues.
Right.
I was a pretty good hitter in the minor leagues.
Just to make it to the big leagues.
Right. And if you're going to make outs, that's where you want to make them.
Right. Make your outs in the big leagues. Then you'll have a story to tell.
Yep.
Logan Schaefer with 2 away. In there for a strike.
I like the way this young man, DeSclafani, goes about his business, works quickly, doesn't stray too far from that pitching rubber. Looks in, get it and go. Good curveball that time.
Have a perfect game watch going right now. Julio Teheran of the Atlanta Braves, 6 perfect innings against the Philadelphia Phillies. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Full schedule of day baseball today around the big leagues. There is a one-night game, and that's going to be a good one. That's the Mets and the Yankees tonight. Cardinals Cubs are underway. We'll be tracking that one today. Pirates Dodgers a little later. Pirates beat the Dodgers last night. Kershaw started for Los Angeles, and Pittsburgh able to wrestle a win out of that game.
Yeah, Pirates only trailing the Cardinals by 4. Cubs by 5.
3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. DeSclafani strikes him out. A strikeout against Logan Schaefer. That is the 3rd strikeout so far. And an excellent wave. You without the mustache. That's a rally mustache is what that is. And the Brewers need it. They've lost 8 straight. Trying to get back to winning ways before they hit the road. Brewers will head to Chicago, starting a series tomorrow. You should come down and join us. 3 games at Wrigley Field, all night games. And you know Wrigley Field's going to be jumping tomorrow. Brandon Phillips will start it for Cincinnati. Still one of the great players in the game. Gold Glove second baseman, plays with a lot of flash, a lot of flair, very entertaining to watch. And he's hit this year. He's hitting .294 this season. 12 homers, 65 runs batted in.
And one of those guys, if you didn't know any better, he was trying to show you up once in a while. You know, got a big base hit in yesterday's ball game to give the Reds a lead, and kind of showboating a little bit down to first base, but that's just the way he is. I mean, you just take it with a grain of salt, not trying to rub it in. A little bit of Carlos Gomez in him. But you love the way the guy enjoys playing the game. Always has a smile, enjoys what he's doing out there. Why wouldn't you, right?
Well, he is the owner of 4 Gold Gloves. He's made 3 All-Star teams. He'll be 35 next season. Now in his 14th season in the big leagues. Fly ball, right field, slicing foul. Well, the Reds had a number of flares last night that were big, and this is what you're talking about, Rock. It was a little flare, and I think, you know, in any other context, that's fine. Phillips is just having fun, no big deal. But the fact that it came immediately after the injury to Herrera, the Brewers were not in a laughing mood at that point of the game yesterday.
That base hit scored 2 runs to give the Reds a 2-run lead late. But again, I mean, you know, that's the way this game is these days. I mean, you know, what is accepted now would never have been accepted, you know, many years ago. We just got to get over that. The game's changed. Whether it's for the better, who knows? Just the way it is.
So here is Jay Bruce.
They're trying to bust him inside. He took a fastball away and hit it a country mile.
There's a strike to Bruce. 23rd home run of the year in the second inning. 81 ribbies. A low batting average for Bruce, and he's starting to look like, trend like that kind of player. He's going to have a low batting average, low on base, but hit a lot of homers. And he does hit a lot of homers. No doubt about that one.
Another guy right on top of the plate took that fastball away and pulled it.
A swing and a miss. A little off-speed pitch. That slider from Pena. He throws that breaking ball at a few different speeds. He can throw it as slow as 83 miles an hour. He can hump it up to 88.
Got a little different break on it once in a while. Whether he does it on purpose, who knows? Just the way it comes out of his hand.
They see as fast as 93. Breaking ball as low as 85. 3-2 pitch on the way. And Bruce takes ball 4. 1 out base runner. It's the second walk issued by Pena.
You see Ashley setting up on the inner half and a little bit low. Had the plate, but low. Just barely.
That'll bring up Eugenio Suarez, who's made the defensive play of the game already. On a jump throw from the hole at short to get Jason Rogers. Otherwise, the Brewers may be looking at a big inning right there. He's done a good job. He's filled in nicely for Zach Cozart. Cozart's coming back from a major knee injury. And they're starting to think about other positions for Suarez to play, because he does hit. And he's been able to hit .282 in the big leagues this year, has 11 homers, on base percentage of .323. They think he's going to get better and better and hit for more power. And a wise old analyst once said, the bat plays.
Yeah, they'll find a spot for you if you can hit.
Oh, and he's young too. He's only 23. He and Hernan Perez were teammates in the Tigers organization. Two young prospects coming up, and both traded. Or actually, Perez was claimed, taken off the roster. Suarez came over in the Alfredo Simon deal. Reds traded away 2 starters early this year. That was an offseason deal, the Simon deal. Then they traded Latos. Then they got into the season, got to the trade deadline. They traded Mike Leake and Johnny Cueto.
Yeah. Where's all the pitching going, right? It's nothing but rookies now. Reds have set a major league record, an all-time major league record for consecutive starts by rookies. Got to go back to the turn of the century.
And they've had 9 different rookies start games, which is a franchise record for them. There's a high drive into left field, hooking, and it is a foul ball. Reds have 95 starts from rookie pitchers. This is 96 today. And you think about the players and the pitchers they traded, you understand why the Reds felt like they could contend this season. When we were in spring training, the Brewers and the Reds were hoping to get back into the picture in the division, and yet they are fighting it out for last place. It's the strongest division in all of baseball, the National League Central, and it doesn't look like the Cubs or the Pirates or the Cardinals are going away anytime soon. So these two organizations know they've got to elevate their franchise fast. Council talks about that all the time when looking ahead to 2016. Shattered bat coming in, Schaefer. And he can't make the play. That falls.
I saw a lot of that last night. Yeah, Reds, a lot of base hits just like that. Look at that bat. Looks like a lawn dart out there. Split right down the middle. Ends up as a base hit, though. Looks like a cricket paddle at this point. Look at that jam shot. Got in on his hands. That bat blows up, but ends up being a base hit.
Doesn't hurt near as much on the hands when it falls for a hit.
Yeah. Not much you can do about it. Good pitch by Pena.
Now those 3 flares last night resulting in a 3-run inning. And the Reds were able to come back and win that game. Good block by Ashley. Ashley's been back there twice with Pena on the mound. That's a nice matchup for him. I'm sure there's a little bit of comfort there for both players, especially the pitcher, working together in AAA.
You don't have that feeling out process, figuring out what do you want to call, what do you like to throw in certain situations. These guys have worked together quite a bit.
Pena spent 9 years in the minor leagues before his big league debut. And Evan Ashley 10 years in the minor leagues before his major league debut. And they came about a week apart. 2-0 the count. 3-0. Adam Duvall had a single his last time up. Lined one to left field. He started at first base on Friday night. Votto was serving a suspension. Swinging 3-0, and he pulls it foul. Hey, good catch up there. That might have saved some teeth.
Maybe a teeth or a bruise or two.
Good job.
That's why you bring the glove. You never know.
It's not just about bringing the glove. It's having it on and ready.
Knowing what to do with it.
Does you no good sitting in your lap. Look at this catch. Yes. Just reach up and pulled it down. Well done, sir.
Comes in handy up here too from once in a while.
Is that right? But unlike that guy, your glove is stored in some kind of filing cabinet.
No, it's home. I took it home. I didn't like the way you were looking at it the other day.
I did. I was fisheye in that thing.
The catcher's mitt, yeah.
If it didn't have your name on it, I'd have already claimed it. And you know, in the old days, when you used to Sharpie your name on a glove, you could always kind of make it work to make your name, my name.
Scratch it out.
Right, or just, you know, bend the letters a little bit. There's a swing and a miss. Pena comes back to strike him out. He was down 3-0 and picks up his second punch out.
Yeah, good slider to get him. 84 miles an hour. Doesn't have to have a big break, just a little bit right on the corner, and the later the better with the break. You get a late break, it doesn't have to be as big.
Perfect spot for it. So Pena now with 2 outs. Reds have 2 on. They lead 1-0. And Tucker Barnhart, the batter, switch hitting catcher. Oh, there it is. There's the glove. I miss it already.
I took it home.
You saw how I was looking at it.
I did. You were fisheyeing. And I know you have people around here to get keys to my cabinet.
Oh, I have a key already.
No.
Had one made. Ground ball back up the middle. That's a base hit. And coming around to try to score is Bruce. He will score. The throw goes to third. And the Reds have a 2-0 lead. A 2-out RBI single from the 8th place hitter, Tucker Barnhart. First and second with 2 away.
It starts catching up to you when you're getting behind the count consistently. And he got behind Duvall, able to come back and strike him out. That was a 1-0 pitch, a changeup actually. 86 miles an hour, took a little bit off, and Barnhart able to drive in the run with 2 outs.
So it'll be the pitcher, DeSclafani. Had him out in front. A Florida Gator, Anthony DeSclafani. He's a New Jersey kid. Your neck of the woods, Rock. Matter of fact, he's from Colts Neck, New Jersey. You got anything on that?
I'm not sure where that is.
Colts Neck, New Jersey. Born in Freehold, New Jersey.
I know where that is.
Small New Jersey town.
Todd Frazier's from New Jersey.
Tom's River. Little League World Series hero.
Yeah. You know who else is from New Jersey that's a pretty good player? Mike Trout.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's from Don Money's neck of the woods, Vineland.
Just taking a spin around New Jersey here in the 4th inning. Reds get a run. They lead 2-0. Barnhart with a 2-out hit.
and the Reds here in the fourth. We're checking in with the Biloxi Shuckers. Their Game 4 of the Southern League Championship Series is underway. They're in the top of the fourth. They have a 1-0 lead over Chattanooga. Josh Hader is on the mound, the left-handed pitcher. His first start since September 7th. He has 7 strikeouts through those 3 shutout innings, and it was Orlando Arcia who gave the Shuckers a 1-0 lead through the postseason. He now has 10 RBIs and 12 hits, just continues to rake at the plate.
Sophia, thanks for that Shuck date.
No music.
No music yet. We're getting close.
What happened to the music?
But there's a lot of incentive for the Shuckers to wrap that championship up today. I think there's a few guys that are going to end up here in Milwaukee. That's my hunch. No one's told me that.
They said they're going to be a couple, but they're not saying who.
Well, you might want to bring some reinforcements. As many injuries as the Brewers have had. That team looks like they could hold their own. Adam Lind will start it. The Brewers are down 2-0. And a strike. Adam Lind had a single his last time up, and that has been the last base runner against DeSclafani. He's retired 8 straight. Gave up back-to-back singles in the first inning. Another great catch. Fans are coming to play today. All right, Rock, where are we at on this one? I think there's a much higher degree of difficulty.
Right.
And he's on the first row.
That's dangerous.
Which brings in an element of danger to it, even though the rail's nice and high. Can give you a bad visual.
Yeah. Don't even go there.
It is Fan Appreciation Weekend. Have we told you how much we appreciate all of you? Thanks for watching all season long. Hanging in there with us.
Yep. We're having a good time at the ballpark, regardless.
Lynn pops this one up to center field. And Lamar's got it for the out. 1 away. 9 in a row for DeSclafani. Well, there's a nice sign. That is a guarantee that you will get on television when you hold up a sign like that.
And we love you too.
Yes, we do. And we love each other. And we love you, and we love everybody. I love you, man. Thanks to our great crew. Today's game being produced by Brent Reland. Directed by Mark Vittorio. Brian Mikologic in there as well. Doing whatever he does.
He's got to get out of here quickly today, though. He's got 1 foot out the door already.
Oh, yeah?
Got tickets to that Packer game.
I don't know if he's going to be able to make it.
Might not have any graphics from the 7th inning on, but he's going to make the game, that's for sure.
Ball to strike, and it's down and away on Rogers.
Car's running.
Got a chopper coming to pick him up. I didn't think he liked going to the games. I thought he just liked to go sit in his basement and watch him by himself with his bags of chips. Ground ball to third, and Rogers is out. 2 away.
I asked him about that, and he said that's only for the playoffs.
Oh, I see. This is more social regular season time when he can actually talk to one person.
Second game of the year. Seahawks in town. Little payback for the Pack.
I think he did set the record for the most jerseys by a grown man, though, from one team. Real life jerseys.
He's got a lot of disposable income.
Ground ball to second. That's on a hop to Phillips, and that is a breeze of an inning for DeSclafani. He's retired 11 straight.
Park, the Brewers trailing 2-0, and the final drive for charity is underway for BCF. They're seeking new hats, mittens, and scarves to be donated for kids to be distributed around the greater Milwaukee area. Fans are, for a $5 donation, receiving a commemorative pin featuring Brewers outfielder Chris Davis. And today, Fox Sports Wisconsin joined that effort, asking fans to stuff the bus with all of those warm winter clothes and accessories. For more information, please be sure to visit brewers.com/BCF to see how you can help.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Good stuff out of the Fox Sports Wisconsin bus today. 2-0 Reds go to the 5th inning. Ryan Lamar leads off. Have to forgive me, I was enjoying a hand-picked apple.
I was too.
From our official scorer, Tim O'Driscoll. Ground ball. Sardinas. And a strong throw across the diamond. Out number 1. Good play. Lamar is 0 for 3.
Able to get some momentum going toward first base, and see the way he rounds that baseball to try to get some momentum toward the bag, and then throws a seed over to first base, gets him by half a step. Good play by Luis Sardinas.
Sardinas has not been throwing the ball well.
Did that time.
That was there was a lot on that one for sure. That didn't have any gravity take effect. Rangers always had him as a shortstop with a very strong arm, but has not shown it here in the big leagues until right there. That's the best I've seen him throw it so far. That's good. You need an arm like that to play that position.
Yeah.
Ivan DeJesus. He bats with 1 away. A swing and a miss. Had a choice between a giant pizza or an apple.
Yeah, I know. We got saved. I was on my way back there to that pizza box myself. And then Renee, our great stage director,
Hall of Fame caliber stage manager,
handed me a slice of apple.
Cuts you off.
Yeah. Say, here, take this. Better for you.
Now, what if I'd have handed you a slice of apple?
I'd have grabbed pizza. I'd have thought there was something on it I shouldn't have eaten.
You just smashed it on my head. Put it down my shirt.
Of course not. I'd have eaten it. There's Renee. Amongst all the other things she does, she slices up a mean apple.
She does. She does that well too. Stage manager, Hall of Fame member, right there. The lone inductee.
Yeah.
It's a Hall of Fame of 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the dirt. Ashley with a good block just in case he swung at it.
Renee's been around, I think, 19 years. Yep. All the way back in the county stadium days.
You mean around the ball club? 19 years.
Yeah, working with us. Working in TV. I didn't mean she was 19 years old.
She's been with you the whole time.
Except for the first 2 years.
How'd you get along without her?
Didn't know any better. Did you ever see some of my first couple of years?
No.
You don't want to see them?
I'd like to.
No.
Do you have some go-to cliches
I didn't know.
You fired off?
I didn't have any idea what was going on. Just having a good old time up there.
What were the prerequisites for you to actually get on the air in the first place?
I played. And I spoke English.
There's a swing and a miss, and Pena strikes out DeJesus for out number 2, the 4th strikeout for Pena. Here's a good time for trivia. Since we're looking at MVPs, Joey Votto is not going to win it, but he has numbers that could stack up. So we're wondering in our carsoup.com trivia, the last National League MVP or to win.
There you go.
On a last place team, that was the Hawk, the last place Cubs in '87, and I don't think we'll have another one.
No. Ernie Banks was an MVP in a last place Cubs team.
Seems to be a theme there.
I was just told that Ernie Banks' Cubs teams were not in last place. Losing records.
Losing records, but not in last place. I just saw Andre Dawson recently in Miami. He was in uniform down on the field. Special assistant with the Marlins. The Hawk. And Votto draws his second walk. How good was Andre Dawson? You know, you look at the numbers. He hit nearly 50 that season. The numbers were just overwhelming. That was back when the Cubs were in the National League East. And they were only 9 games under 500, and they were in last place.
49 homers, 137 RBIs, and you got to be head and shoulders above everybody else to be able to win an MVP when your team's in last place.
So Bryce Harper had the numbers that he has currently, and he looks like he's going to be the MVP. If you put those numbers up and the Nationals were in last place, would he win it this year? I don't think so. I think a lot of voters, I don't know. I don't have a vote for MVP, but I don't feel like the votes are coming for teams that aren't in, at least in contention.
Yeah, when you look at the home runs and RBIs, Nolan Arenado's right up there. Rockies are in last place.
That year, the Hawk won the MVP. There were 2 Cardinals right behind him, and most feel that those 2 Cardinals, Ozzie Smith and Jack Clark, split some of the votes. Jack Clark had a big year, but not as big as Andre Dawson statistically, although he had a much higher OPS before OPS was cool. I think Clark might have won it under today's criteria. That's where analytics changes things. That great debate a few years ago when Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown, won the MVP, versus the year that Mike Trout had that season. Statistically, across the board, with the defense, with the stolen bases, with all of the production offensively, and yet Cabrera still won it. There's a wave and a miss. 2-2.
Yeah, Harper leads in batting average, home runs, and 95 RBIs for Bryce Harper, so he's close to a Triple Crown. Arenado right behind him in home runs, 39 of them, and he leads the league in RBIs with 114.
But he has to deal with the Coors Field effect.
Right.
The stigma that is. It's one of the reasons Todd Helton didn't win more MVPs and is on that fringe as a Hall of Famer with his great career. Real or imagined, it's out there that hitters will tell you. I was asking a couple of the Brewers players about Colorado. And you can get a lot of hits. It's not just the power numbers, it's the hits because of the huge outfield.
Outfielders have to play so deep. A lot of base hits in front of you in the outfield. But they have the humidor now.
That's what they say. Full count to Phillips. 2 outs in the inning. Votto just walked. Pena down 2-0. And there goes Votto, and Phillips fouls it away. There's a better MVP race going on in the American League. That's a tough one. Josh Donaldson of the Toronto Blue Jays, who are in first place in their division, versus Mike Trout. Angels are 4 back in their division. And the Angels are a game and a half back of the second wild card spot, so they're certainly in the picture. There's a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Phillips strikes out to end the inning. 5th strikeout for Pena. He's through 5. Brewers trail 2-0. Is one final student night at Miller Park this season. Friday, October 2nd, the Brewers and the Cubs face off. And all high school and college students can get tickets for just $10, plus enjoy a special $3 pregame menu. For tickets, visit brewers.com/students. We want to see you here one last Friday night before we get you back to school. Make sure you thank your teachers. The real heroes, they're making you better. Perez with a shot back up the middle. Boy, the Brewers needed that. That snaps a string of 11 in a row retired by DeSclafani.
Yeah, a curveball. An 0-1 pitch. Watch the curveball where it ends up. Right down the middle, up around mid-thigh, and Perez hits it hard right back through the middle into center field. DeSclafani's been consistently getting ahead in the count, which is why the Brewers really haven't been able to do much.
Well, a man on put him in the stretch for the first time since the first inning. He's only been out of the stretch for 2 batters today. Well, we'll see if the Brewers can do something here. Got Sardinhas at the plate. Nevin Ashley to follow. The Cardinals and the Cubs are now in the 4th inning. Cardinals jumped out to a 3-0 lead early. Tommy Pham hit another homer. He and Piscotty both have homered today against John Lester. But the Cubs have come back. Cubs have a couple of runs on the board. It's 4-2 now, St. Louis. Cubs are going after a sweep. Pirates and the Dodgers will get underway in about half an hour. Garrett Cole is up for Pittsburgh, who won yesterday. Ryan Bolsinger on the mound for the Dodgers. Ground ball, that's going to find a hole. Sardinhas slaps one to the opposite field. Back-to-back hits, and the Brewers have something going here in the 5th.
Yeah, good approach by both Perez and Sardinhas, and Luis able to take that pitch going away from just out of the reach of Suarez. They're not trying to pull it. Both of them able to reach with singles. You see that tailing fastball going away from Sardinhas. He goes right with it and into left field. That's a nice stroke. Let the ball get to him, and a nice easy swing into left.
So Nevin Ashley still sitting on that one hit, which came in his very first major league at bat.
Craig Counsell's going for it right now. You're going to have Ashley bunting. You got a pinch hitter on deck. And the line for Ariel Pena.
Well, Pena going 5 innings, 2 runs. Another solid outing by Pena.
His bullpen a little bit better shape. You got Kyle Loach getting loose in the pen. You know he can eat up some innings for you.
Loach will have the 6th. Ashley showed bunt first time. Big swing on the second pitch. Let's see what he does here. First and second, nobody out. DeSclafani is a ground ball pitcher.
Which is why you might want to think about a bunt here to stay away from the double play.
Ashley earned his spot in the big leagues this year. He hit well in AAA, .306 batting average, 8 homers, 61 runs batted in. He also had 14 doubles. He played 94 games. He had 103 hits. This is game number 8 in the major leagues and his 3rd start. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ashley. Able to lay off. Good take.
And a good block. Tucker Barnhart pretty good behind home plate. Yeah, good job defensively for Cincinnati. Big fan of the chest protector too. And kind of the military camo look.
Two and two the count. Ashley fouls it off. Barnhart was coming up through the Red system when Ashley was with Cincinnati. He was their AAA catcher back in 2013. Nevin played in 80 games that year in 13. That was the year his first year with the Reds. He had been with the Tampa Bay Rays. And he's made a tour of the Central Division in AAA the last 3 seasons. Reds, Pirates, Brewers this year. Right back to DeSclafani. Goes to second. Oh, he throws it away. Perez coming in to score. Sardinha safe at third. Now the ball gets away. And Sardinha will score. That ball goes into the dugout. And just like that, we're tied. Couple of errors on that play.
That's 2 bases. Yep, and Assey's going to be able to get to third base. So 2-run score. So 1 from the mound and 2 from the field. That ball goes into the dugout. 2 bases on that. So 2-run score. And Ashley at third base representing the go-ahead run with nobody out. A bad play by DeSclafani, who's normally pretty good. Ends up in the dugout. Sardinha scores and Ashley gets to third base. Well, he didn't have to be that quick. Nobody there. I think he was trying to lead Suarez, but it was Phillips that was covering the bag. There's 2 errors on that play for Cincinnati.
You're sitting there with a chance to get a 1-4-3 double play. Instead, 2-run score, runner at third, nobody out. Here's Chris Davis now. Davis rolled his ankle yesterday. Had to come out of the game yesterday. He is only available to pinch hit today. And Counsell is going to use him right here. I doubt he'll be able to run hard, or he'd have to be very cautious on turns. It's his right ankle. He'd love to jog around here. Ground ball in the hole. And it's bobbled out there by Suarez. Another run is in. Ashley scores. The Brewers have the lead. Unlikely Suarez was going to throw out Davis anyway, so that'll be an infield hit and an RBI. And the Brewers have a lead.
And just kicking it around here on the Cincinnati Reds, who are normally pretty good defensively. And remember, you got Chris Davis with the bad ankle. Not sure he would be able to, beat it out anyway. Davis getting down there pretty good. I mean, he's all right. It's just a matter of turning the bases is a concern that the Brewers had, but he's going to stay out there.
Oh, an inning that has fallen apart for Anthony DeSclafani. Brewers have the lead, still nobody out. This gives Ariel Pena a chance to win this game after his 5 innings of work. Top of the order now. Here's Scooter Gennett. 3 hits and 2 errors in this inning for Cincinnati. Pena says, hang on, boys, hang on to it. Got a chance at his second major league win. But a lot of baseball to be played. Have to turn it over to that bullpen now. Got an error on the pitcher and an error on the center fielder in this inning.
Yep, E1 allowing Sardinius to get to second base, and an E8. Perez scores and Sardinius scores.
On the ground, Phillips lays out, can't get it. Davis will stop at third. Scooter Gennett keeps the inning going. Still nobody out. The 4th hit of the inning already.
The same exact play that Davis, he was on first base. Very similar play when he turned his ankle last night. Now, you don't run on Jay Bruce. You just stay put at second, particularly when there's nobody out. Well, let's see if Craig Counsell wants to have Schaefer drop down a bunt. It's a breaking pitch. It stayed up again once again in the strike zone. Chris Davis lets the ball go by, and he just decides, I'm not even going to mess around. I'm just staying at second here. You don't run on Jay Bruce.
Jeff Pico, the Reds pitching coach, out to try to settle down his rookie right-hander. Boy, the way out of the inning was right there for the taking for DeSclafani, but a throwing error has set up the Brewers. 3 runs are in. 3-2 Milwaukee. Nobody out. 2 on. And Logan Schaefer coming up with Lind on deck.
Very good bunter. Let's see if Craig Counsell wants to have him drop down a bunt to set up Adam Lind.
At the plate, presented by Wendy's for Schaefer. Had a single in the first inning. DeSclafani struck him out in the 3rd.
And that Reds in at the corners expecting a bunt.
Reds have activity in their bullpen. And that one's back up the middle. A base hit for Schaefer. Davis is going to try to score. Here comes a throw all the way through, and Davis is toast.
Not even close. What a throw by Lamar. all the way in the air, and Ed Cedar sends them and never make the first out at home plate. That's what happened that time. Ed Cedar very aggressive in sending base runners this year. Got burned that time.
He charged it well, and he fired a strike right on the money.
Yep.
Davis not running well anyway. Gave him a lane to slide. And an easy catch and tag for Barnhart. So an out at the plate, the first out of the inning on an 8-2 putout. First and second for Adam Lind.
Brewers came into this inning with 2 hits. 5 hits in the inning.
DeSclafani had retired 11 in a row. Lind slicing left field, still slicing down a base hit. Jeanette will score. Schaefer right behind him. He's in, and it's a 2 RBI double for Adam Lind. 5-2 Milwaukee.
Duvall for a second, I thought he might be able to get there. That ball just kept slicing further and further away from him. Ended up with a dive, didn't miss it by much, and by the time he's able to get the ball back in, Mike and Schaefer able to score standing up. Pitch down in the strike zone, and you can see how close Duvall came to getting that baseball. 2 runs in, 6 hits in the inning.
And Brian Price on his way out. An inning that fell apart on Anthony DeSclafani. His throwing error opened the door for the Brewers. 5 runs are in, still just 1 out, and we have a pitching change here in the 5th. We'll take a timeout. To you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. Oh, Anthony DeSclafani, a throwing error, had a chance at a double play that would have changed this inning dramatically. Instead, it opened the door, and the Brewers score 5 runs. He's out. New pitcher in is Colin Ballister.
Yeah, Ballister was down in the minor leagues with the Cincinnati Reds, Louisville farm system down there in AAA. 21 appearances, 7 saves, a 205 earned run average, making appearance number 11 in the big leagues. We saw Ballister on Friday night.
An Adam Lind double chases DeSclafani. Now Jason Rogers with a swing and a miss. Rogers was robbed of a hit back in the first inning. That great play by Suarez in the hole. He's had 2 ground outs today. Still 1 out. Lind out at second. Santana to follow. And a shot into left. Base hit. Lind will hold up at third base. The hits keep coming.
Yeah, that's 4 straight hits. Now 5 straight hits for the Brewers in this inning. Racking them up, the hits with men in scoring position in this inning.
7 total here in the 5th.
Look at that, as straight as a string, middle in, and Jason Rogers, those quick hands, able to hit it hard into left field. Adam Lind has to hold up at third base.
The only out of the inning has occurred at the plate. A throw out at home of Chris Davis by the center fielder Lamar. First and third for Santana. Hit him. Yikes. Santana drilled a Ballister fastball. And the bases are loaded. The Brewers have batted around. Still only 1 out.
And no chance to get out of the way of this one. Check it out. Here it is. Boom. That's going to leave a mark. Where's it get him? Shoulder?
On the bicep.
Arm, yep. At least it didn't get him in the ribs. I doubt that's going to hurt him. Well, Brewers bat around. Still only 1 out.
Interesting meeting at the mound. They're issuing warnings here.
Warnings?
Unless I'm missing something. I don't. Joe West came in and they're issuing warnings for the rest of the game. So if there's another hit batter, any kind of intent, the home plate umpire can deem that the pitcher and the manager be ejected.
What for?
I'm not sure I'm buying that. That's a little too sensitive here, unless I'm missing something.
No, you're not missing anything.
Perez flies to center field. All right, Lamar's got a good arm. Here's the tag. He's not going to challenge him. 1 throw out at the plate is enough. So Lynn stays put. And there is the second out.
I'd be interested to hear from Joe West after the game why he felt like he needed to do that. I mean, that seems on the surface as really unnecessary. Brandon Phillips trying to figure it out. There's no real bad blood between these 2 teams in this series. A little quick on the trigger.
Yeah, I don't buy it. So anyway, that's what you have to deal with the rest of the game. I don't think either team felt like that was intentional. I think maybe one guy did.
Man, not necessary unless, as you say, there's something we're not aware of.
Luis Sardinas, his second at bat of the inning. Singled earlier this inning. Pulls that one, and it's gloved by Votto. Excellent play. And that will end the inning. So Ballister comes on, settles it down, but the Brewers score 5 runs. And they lead 5-2. We go to the 6th from Miller Park. inning, and they lead it now 5-2. Every weeknight, don't miss MLB Whip Around on FS1 with highlights, instant analysis, and live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around is weeknights at 6 Central on FS1, always streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Shane Peterson, thought to be only available to pinch hit today, has entered the game in left field. So a double switch here for Craig Counsell. Kyle Loesch is on the mound, and with the Brewers leading by 3, trying to get a few extra innings here out of Kyle Loesch.
Yeah, 2 scoreless innings for Loesch on Wednesday against the Cardinals. He's been throwing the baseball pretty well out of the pen. Last 11 appearances have all come in relief and has been unscored upon in his last 5. That covers 8 innings.
So Jason Rogers is out. Put the pitcher in his spot. That's a cleanup spot in the batting order. And Shane Peterson will bat in the pitcher spot. He will hit second next inning. Bruce fouls one away. Shane Peterson, you might notice he's got that arm heavily bandaged, his forearm of his left hand, because in that collision with Herrera yesterday, or his right hand, I beg your pardon, that collision with Herrera yesterday, Herrera's spikes came back and he had a number of lacerations on that forearm and wrist. Opened up some serious wounds. His knee was the original problem, and he spent a lot of time on the ground, not sure if had done major damage to that knee. Walked off under his own power, and here he is in the lineup as Jay Bruce does it again. Man, Jay Bruce almost in the same spot, his second homer of the game, and he makes it 5-3 Brewers. That's his 24th of the season. Just on base for the 3rd time.
Just annihilates Brewers pitching. He's always done it. He's always been able to put together good streaks at the plate with the Brewers in town, or whether the Brewers are in Cincinnati. But well, it doesn't matter if Jay Bruce is 0 for 20 coming into a series. He always seems to find his stroke against the Brew Crew. Look at this. Nice easy swing and his second homer. But on base all 3 times, 2 homers, a walk, and 3 runs scored.
High drive left center, and that's way back there. And Eugenio Suarez sends one way gone. Back-to-back home runs. Suarez with number 12. His second hit of the day, and just like that, it's a 1-run game.
Brewers just can't hold a lead. Man, it's amazing. I mean, it happened in yesterday's ball game. Brewers had a 3-run lead, disappeared quickly. Brewers had a 5-run lead they couldn't hold in Pittsburgh. And the Reds are right back at it, and within 1 run. Fastball up, in, and Suarez knocks it out of here. Bullpen has been used a lot, and it's starting to catch up to him.
Here's Adam Duvall. Lowe starts him with a slider. Two batters face, 2 home runs, back-to-back solo shots, Bruce and Suarez. That one's on the ground to third base. Hernan Perez will make the play for out number 1 for Loesch.
And both the home runs came on fastballs, and Duvall grounds out weakly on a slider. Loesch has to have that good command, good location. Really haven't been able to find much of a 2-seamer this year. That's been his bread and butter throughout his career, that 2-seam fastball to get ground balls. A lot of his fastballs have had the plate and up. That's why he's given up so many home runs.
A strike to Barnhart. Base hit. Tucker Barnhart. Third hit of the inning for the Reds.
Well, let's check out today's time of the game winner, the bullpen in Browntown. Browntown's in Greene County near the Illinois border if you're ever looking for it.
Okay.
If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers April or May home game next year. It's offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Is that kind of like Funky Town?
You can check that out on your way here to Wrigley. And just kind of stop on into Browntown and grab a pop and come root for the crew.
Okay. Thank you for laying that out for us. You should write a book
About
all the stuff that we should do centered around the Brewers, where we should eat, where we should go, some of the stops along the way. Schumacher pinch hitting off the glove of Lind, a race to the bag and out at first. What a play. Lind stuck with it, and then a blind throw to Loesch. Hit him perfectly on the run. That was something.
another case of a guy trying to dive head first into first base. Schumacher guilty of it this time, but Loesch able to get there first and get the out. Adam Lind doesn't get too far off the bag. I mean, he's about 2 feet off the line. Knocks it down. You can see Loesch able to beat Schumacher to first base. Good flip over there. Got him on the run and got him by plenty.
So 2 men are out, and the tying run at second base. Top of the order here is Ryan Lamar. And he swings at the first pitch. Sardinas over to first in time. That'll end the inning. Back-to-back homers. The Reds are right back in it, but the Brewers still lead 5-4 going to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning, Ryan Lamar running out that last ground ball. Looked like he tweaked something and had to be taken out. He had a long, slow limp back to the clubhouse. Schumacher, who pinch hit, will just stay in the game and play center field and put the pitcher in Lamar's spot. I don't know what grabbed him, but right there he goes to his hamstring, and he could barely walk off the field under his own power. So another outfielder is lost in this series. All right, Rock, the new pitcher is Carlos Contreras.
Yeah, 17th appearance and a big earned run average. I mean, Contreras earned run average just under 6. You can see he's got more walks than strikeouts. You can see what his issue is. Contreras A guy that brings it up there in the low to mid 90s. Got a good changeup, and he'll throw a slider. 11 strikeouts, 12 walks in 19 innings.
Nevin Ashley will lead off for the Brew Crew. Takes the ball down and away. Nevin was at the plate last inning. Hit a ground ball back to the mound. Looked like a chance at a 1-4-3 double play. Instead, the pitcher DeSclafani threw it away into center field, and then there was another error by the center fielder Lamar. And after it was all said and done, the Brewers had tied the game, and then they added on to it a 5-run inning for the Brewers. They brought 11 batters to the plate. (5-4) Milwaukee now after back-to-back homers for the Reds. Slow roller and a throw to first in time to get Ashley. DeJesus Jr. makes the play for out number 1. One gone. Shane Peterson batting for the first time. I would imagine still hobbled after that collision with Herrera yesterday. It was his right knee.
He's moving around pretty well before the game. I was watching him down there getting his running in, and says he feels okay, good enough to play. You know, he wants to get in there and play regardless.
Hit hard left field. Duvall playing deep makes a catch. Not real comfortable out there is Duvall. That can be a tough sun field. You get into this time of the day, the sun starting to set, and it sets beyond the first base grandstand, so that left fielder is looking right into it.
Peeking through those glass panels. There you see, that's what he's looking at. Sometimes that ball can get lost up there. And you got Skip Schumacher, who certainly is not a center fielder. He's played the outfield before. Play him in the infield, play him in the outfield, but certainly not center field.
Reds are already without their starting center fielder, Billy Hamilton. He's out with a shoulder injury. Broken bat. Ground ball right to the shortstop Suarez, who bobbles the ball, and about as routine of a play as you can have. Goodness. Well, the Reds are kicking it around. They look like the Brewers from a couple of days ago. 3 errors already for Cincinnati.
Well, he bobbled a ball last inning. That was a ball that Ashley hit. I should say Peterson. They gave him a base hit, but that was just drops. I mean, that's just concentration right there. 3rd error for Cincinnati.
Will this one lead to runs? Here's Logan Schaefer, who is 2 out of 3 tonight. Got an update from the Reds clubhouse for Ryan Lamar, a strained right hamstring. Gets a chance to start and injured his hamstring. 0-2 on Schaefer. Some news around Major League Baseball. The Kansas City Royals have gotten 3 home runs today from Kendrys Morales. He's 4 for 4 with 3 homers. Now has 21 homers for the years. The Royals are roughing up the Tigers 10-3. Did he go? He did not. 1-2 the count. That's a big day. Royals are a freight train headed to the postseason. They've got some closer trouble though. Holland's not pitching all that well. Kansas City has an 11-game lead in their division. Their magic number is dwindling quickly.
It's only a matter of time in that division.
Kansas City's magic number is now 4 and about to be 3 after they seal up the victory. Twins have lost 5 in a row. They're the second place team. Matter of fact, the Twins have been leapfrogged by the Angels. And those two teams are playing now. 6-0 Minnesota in the 6th inning. That would bring the Twins and the Angels in a tie. Both chasing the second wild card spot, the Houston Astros. Angels started a game and a half back.
Took them down the last day.
Feels like it's gonna. Has that setup with so many teams involved.
And I like the way Major League Baseball is going to have every game start at the same time, the last game of the year, so you can't say pitching. If the team that you're trying to chase or what have you has already lost or won.
Yeah, I like that.
I do too. I think it's great.
Well, Schaefer draws the walk.
What is it, 2 o'clock Central? Every game's going to start? Is that what it is, or at 3 o'clock? Brewers' last game of the year.
It's against the Chicago Cubs on the Sunday the 4th. That's a 2 o'clock start.
Yeah, so 3 o'clock on the East. I like it.
Every game, either 2:05 or 2:10. Adam Lynn ready to bat. You got Ryan Braun moving on deck. Those two on the Powerball home run leaderboard. Lynn looking for his 20th. So that's a good sign that Braun wants to hit here today. There was some thought that he might not be available at all in this game. Out for the 3rd time in his last 5 games. 2 on, 2 out for Lynn, and a wave and a miss out in front of an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, save him for a time when he can really make a difference, and if Adam Lynn gets on, that certainly would be a good opportunity to use Ryan.
And there's a base hit, defies the shift. Around third, headed home. Jeanette, the throw's cut off. And Adam Lynn drives in another one. What a day he's having. His 3rd RBI on his 3rd hit. And the Brewers make it 6-4.
Man, that's the thing about Adam Lynn. When he gets hot, I mean, he does get hot. He gets them in bunches. The base hits, the RBIs. So this inning was extended with the E6. An error, a walk, and now a base hit by Adam Lynn. The Brewers able to add another. They're up by 2 now. With Scooter Jeanette crossing home plate, and Ryan Braun's going to be pulled back.
Yeah, Counsell will save him for a later opportunity. Gene Segura will bat now in the 6th inning in the pitcher spot, part of that double switch. So Segura get a pinch hit at bat. He is hitless in this series. And a breaking ball in there for a strike.
Maybe throwing Ryan Braun out there on the on-deck circle to make sure the Reds are going to throw strikes to Adam Lynn. Not sure why else they would put him out there. This is still a great opportunity to use Braun.
In the right center field. On the run, Bruce, and a sliding catch to end the inning. Good play. Well, the Brewers add to it. 6-4 Milwaukee. We go to the 7th. again today. Jay Bruce with a home run that came in the second inning that started the scoring today. And then this play opened the door. DeSclafani throws it away on a potential double play ball. Brewers ended up getting 2 runs in that sequence to tie the game, and then Chris Davis put him ahead with an infield hit and an RBI, and the Brewers have not looked back. Adam Lynn drove in 2 with a double, all part of a 5-run 5th inning for Milwaukee. Jay Bruce, however, his second home run of the game, answered back in the 6th, and the next hitter after Bruce, Suarez, also went deep. And then Lynn just drove in his 3rd of the day. So a lot of offense, 17 hits combined. Brewers lead 6-4. And Craig Counsell is going to give the ball to Will Smith to try to get things simmered down here a little bit.
Yeah, pitched in last night's ball game. Couple of strikeouts in a scoreless inning. Smith in game number 71 this year, a .283 earned run average and a 6-2 record. 2-3-4 coming up for the Reds.
Ivan DeJesus Jr. leads off for Cincinnati, then Votto, and then Brandon Phillips. Unlike last night, Counsell is better set up with his late inning relief. Thanks to Loesch getting through the 6th inning, although he did give up 2 runs. He was able to get it together and he finished the inning. So now you've got a lead. You've got Smith for the 7th, Jeffress for the 8th, K-Rod for the 9th, if it all goes according to plan. Ground ball cut off by Perez. What a pickup, man. That was something. Hernan Perez with a sweep and an out on DeJesus Jr. to start the 7th inning.
Another good pitch by Will, able to jam DeJesus, and this ball gets by Perez. That's going to be a base hit. The only play the Brewers had was for Perez to make that play. Good play on a short hop.
He's played well this year. He is certainly putting himself in a position to make the ball club next year. Joey Votto now with 1 away. Strike 1 from Smith. Will struck him out yesterday in a tight spot.
Yeah, Smith actually struck out the side in last night's game. Gave up a walk, a hit, but 3 strikeouts. Got Votto on the strikes. He got Frazier and Bruce.
Smith in the top 5 in the league in games pitched. Leads the club in games as well. Led the National League in games last year. He's got a chance to do the same this season. Votto had his knees buckled. 0-2 the count. There's the Marshfield Clinic leaders in relief. Smith appearing for the 71st time. No balls, 2 strikes on Votto. Votto's walk in the 5th inning tied the Reds franchise record that he set back in 2013. 135 walks. And he's never had a hit against Will Smith. He's 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts. Yesterday, Smith struck out Votto, Frazier, and Jay Bruce in his scoreless inning. That's not a bad day's work at all.
When you get to the late part of the ball game with a lead, you're set up pretty nicely with Smith, Jefferson, K-Rod. Unfortunately, the Brewers haven't been able to do that on a consistent basis on this homestand. They've had leads, but they haven't been able to hold them. And short starts, middle relief, giving up runs. Brewers have not had really a long start past 6 innings in quite some time.
Today's starter, Ariel Pena, went 5 innings. Not expecting much out of Pena, though. He's been a reliever most of the year. So to go 5 and hold the Reds to 2 runs, that's a good day. Votto gets jammed, a bouncer to Jeanette. Good battle there between Smith and Votto, and Smith wins again. Votto's now 0 for 7 against him lifetime.
After a 10-game road trip, the Brewers returned home for the final series of the season Friday, October 2nd through Sunday the 4th as the crew closes out the year against the Chicago Cubs. Reserve your spot today by calling 902-4000 or going to Brewers.com/tickets. One more homestand.
And there will be October baseball this year.
3 more games after today, then the snow flies.
It's not going to fly that soon.
No.
We got some golf to get in.
But before the next home game,
yes,
there'll be some snow.
Well, now you just made me sad. We're going to be without baseball for a long time.
You've got a bunch of baseball yet. You know where you're going to be?
No, not just yet. In the National League, I know that.
Okay. Doing the playoffs. What's this, your 4th year doing that?
No, this is my 8th year doing the playoffs.
8th?
8th season.
8th?
8th.
My goodness, time flies.
Let me count them now. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This will be my 8th year. 2008. Phillies Brewers. I did. That was my first playoff series.
That's right. That's right.
Phillies Brewers.
I apologize.
No need to apologize.
8 years.
There's no quiz on my career.
That's right. You've been here 9 years, right?
That's correct. How about that swing by Phillips? Speaking of cricket swings, that was one of them. The inning is over. Will Smith, impressive. 3 up and 3 down, right in the heart of that Cincinnati order. Well, let's turn it over to Rob Edwards. Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America on this beautiful Sunday. Enjoy.
Bob Kozlowski from the Brewers Guest Services.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
We check in. Blaine's down on the farm. Our minor league update with the Biloxi Shuckers. Game 4, Southern League Championship Series. They are now trailing as they head to the top of the 7th. Chattanooga put up 4 in the 6th. Josh Hader left after 5 in the 3rd. He went 111 pitches, but tied a career high 10 strikeouts. So Biloxi looking for a comeback now. They are up 2-1 in that series.
All right, thank you, Sophia. Domingo Santana on the first pitch. He lines to Bruce. And the first out of this bottom of the 7th. Need the Shuckers to make a comeback. They've been a fun team to follow all season. A lot of big names there as far as minor league prospects go, and even made stronger with the trade, with the trades, especially with the Astros trade. 3 of the 4 players the Brewers got from the Astros are there in Biloxi. The other is Domingo Santana. Here's Perez. Takes a ball. By the way, looking at some numbers with our buddy Rick Rodriguez and Rick Ramirez, and we're looking at Santana's home run percentage. As Perez sends one to center field. And there's the second out. So Domingo Santana is homering about every 13.6 at bats. That was leading up to today, right? So if you figure he's got 82 at bats, he's hit 6 homers. Typically you get about 600 at bats in a full major league season. That translates to, at that ratio, a 40+ homer season.
I could see that at one point. If he continues to make progress and make adjustments.
Good numbers.
Be a little bit more patient at the plate with 2 strikes. That'll come.
Yeah, plate discipline will be the next big phase. He's going to strike out.
Plate discipline with 2 strikes. I mean, you know, a lot of guys are going to have good plate discipline before they have 2 strikes. Then that 2-strike panic sets in just a little bit. You don't want to be called out on strikes. That separates the average big leaguer from the superstar, the guy that can be patient at the plate with 2 strikes and not worry about hitting with 2 strikes.
Sardinius and a 2-1 count, make it 3-1 now. Well, he's given this organization some life. Even Ryan Braun mentioned him in an interview the other day, talking about the players that the Brewers have acquired, some of the minor league talent. And I thought Braun had an interesting comment as Sardinius draws a walk. He said, the way this division is lining up for the next few years, we need star players coming up, star talent.
Yeah.
And the Brewers were able to go acquire a bunch of top-notch prospects.
And because you play most of your games against, you know, arguably the 3 best teams in the National League, right? Cubs, Pirates, Cardinals. Not to say that's going to be the case next year, the year after, but right now, you're trying to rebuild in this division. It makes it a little bit more difficult.
Nevin Ashley inside for a ball, almost hit him. Snap throw to first and close over there. Wow. Sardinius almost picked off.
Yeah, trying to get that big secondary lead to be able to beat a play at second, and Barnhart with a good snap throw. A little bit easier with a right-handed hitter up there. From his knees, right on the money.
Close.
That ball's on the other side of the bag. I think he gets an out.
2-1. Nevin Ashley out of Indiana State University in Terre Haute, Indiana native. Ground ball in the hole, backhanded. Suarez to second and safe.
I got to believe that's going to be a base hit for Ashley. Let's see if the Reds want to take a look at that one. Barnhart on his way out to the pitcher's mound, which means they're going to stall a little bit. Joe West, the second base umpire, had it safe. Looks like he was right.
Now, there's no way Suarez is going to throw out Ashley, even though he's made a great play from in the hole earlier today. That was a little extreme. That was his only shot. He took it, he missed it, and now the Brewers, again with 2 outs, are threatening. Brewers got a run last inning after a 2-out error. RBI by Adam Lind, who's driven in 3 tonight. Peterson's second at bat. Peterson went from before the game being discussed as pinch hit only availability. He's going to play half the game in the outfield and get a couple of at bats here today. Carlos Contreras pitching in his second inning, 2 on, 2 away. And it's 3-0 on Peterson.
Well, it's just a matter of who is the less hurt in that outfield right now. Well, Braun questionable if he's going to be able to play the outfield. Davis has been already used, and so Peterson pretty much forced to run out there. No other choice.
Yeah, Rogers was taken out of the game as the left fielder. So who's next in the outfield in case something happens? Let's see here.
Maldonado?
I don't think so. I think you might have to go into the
pitching core,
into the pitching ranks. If it's not Maldonado, who's the most athletic pitcher available, Rock?
That's a tough question.
I mean, are we going to stick? We're going to stick Taylor Youngman out there in left field?
He just pitched.
Can't have him throwing. Zach Davies. Well, Peterson will draw the walk. So the bases are loaded. 2 walks, an infield hit, all coming with 2 outs. We're back at the top of the order. And Scooter Gennett, a chance to add to the Brewers' lead. And that's Jeff Pico, the pitching coach, not the manager.
Man, there has been activity out in that Reds bullpen. Just standing out there, he's ready. Jumbo Diaz.
Reds have hurt themselves defensively in this game. Costly errors in the 5th inning. Started right here at this moment. The Reds had a 2-0 lead. That's our Columbia St. Mary's worth another look. 2 errors on the same play. And then this one mishandled by Suarez. Went for an infield hit and an RBI for Davis. And then this routine ground ball booted by Suarez. That led to a run scoring in the 6th inning.
Well, now the Brewers have the top of the order coming up. Bottom of the order has been doing a nice job getting on base.
Scooter Gennett with 2 away. And a strike from Contreras. Gennett has ties to the Reds organization. He was born there. He was a big fan of the Reds. Moved from Cincinnati at the age of 12. Swing and a miss. Wild swing by Gennett. 0-2 the count.
That's a pitch that Scooter at times has a difficult time laying off of. That breaking ball down and in almost hits his foot.
Scooter Gennett Gnome giveaway day today. Gnome power. He's had a hit. He scored twice. No balls, 2 strikes. And he goes. Gennett strikes out. Step on the plate to secure the K. And the inning ends And the Brewers leave the bases loaded. We go to the 8th. Brewers lead by 2. In Milwaukee, it is in the 8th, and a beautiful day out on Lake Michigan. Beautiful shot of downtown. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong Fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #WisDataStrongFan. Chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast, just like Travis. That would be Travis on the left, I believe, hanging out with the Broad. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. Eat a brat, hang out with a brat. That's the way it works around here. Will Smith is back on the mound, starting his 2nd inning. Got the left-hander Jay Bruce leading off. Probably one batter for Will Smith.
Yeah, then you got a number of right-handers coming up. Actually, 2 right-handers, and then Barnhart, the switch hitter, as Jeremy Jeffers is getting loose.
Bruce has had a big afternoon. 2 hits and a walk. His 2 hits have been homers. Numbers 23 and 24 on the year. They have both led off innings. And again, he's in a leadoff position here in the 8th. The guy hitting in front of him, Brandon Phillips, is 0 for 4 today. There's a strike, 1-2 the count.
And first 3 in the batting order for Cincinnati have been hitless today. Actually, first 4 in the batting order.
Now Votto 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Those are the only 2 base runners in the first 4, hitting ahead of Jay Bruce. Yesterday, Smith struck out Bruce on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Bruce has come back today, and not 1, but 2 long home runs. That one 3/4 of the way up the 2nd level. This one almost in the same spot, about halfway up the Lowe's level. And a multi-home run game for Bruce. Nevin Ashley's on his way out to chat with Smith. Bruce with his 2nd multi-homer game this year. He has 17 in his career. 3rd time he's done it against the Brewers. So the exit velocity on those 2 home runs, 104.7 and 103. Got him. Smith strikes him out again.
And that's a beauty right there. Good breaking pitch off the corner, down, and got Bruce to chase.
And that will do it for Smith. So he was out to face the left-handed batter, Jay Bruce, and he does his job. Will Smith gives Counsell 4 big outs here this afternoon. Got him on a slider, perfectly placed. And with one out, job well done for Will Smith on his way out. We got a pitching change here at Miller Park. Jeremy Jeffress coming in. Folks having a great time at Milwaukee's Miller Park. Why wouldn't you? What a day this is. And the Brewers have a lead. Beautiful weather. Feeling it. The music is in her. All right, Rock. Jeremy Jeffress. He's on to try to get the final 2 outs of this 8th inning.
Yeah, pitched last night. Pitched an inning, a scoreless inning, but allowed an inherited runner to score. Jeremy's been very good over his last 19 appearances. He's given up only 2 earned runs. That's an ERA under 1 at .95, setting career highs in just about every pitching category this year.
Jeffress will have Suarez, then Duvall. Nobody on. Will Smith comes on, gets 4 outs. It's back-to-back games where Will Smith has delivered against the best Reds hitters. Yesterday, Counsell had to use Jeffress in the 6th inning to get out of a jam. Smith went the 7th, and then Counsell was forced to use Tyler Cravey in the 8th. Cravey actually pitched well, but gave up 3 runs on those 3 flares.
And we're talking about, you know, the short starts by this Brewers rotation over the last week and a half. That's where it really shows up. I mean, that's when it really hurts you at this point, when you have to use so many of your relievers on a regular basis that ordinarily you're not going to see Cravey in the 8th inning. I was forced to do that because nobody else was available. The only guy that really hadn't been used a whole lot is K-Rod, and that's the guy you want to use every day.
Right. Got to save him for a save situation.
Right.
Jeffrey's trying to secure him one of those opportunities today. Eugenio Suarez, he has homered in this game. Jeffress misses with a breaking ball. And the count goes full 3-2. K-Rod back doing his thing, getting ready for a potential save opportunity. Brewers have lost 8 straight games, trying to snap that today before they hit the road tomorrow. Starting a series with the Cubs at Wrigley. There's a wave and a miss, and Jeffress with a strikeout. Went back to the breaking ball on a 3-2 pitch, and he got him. Bullpen usage, a big topic. For more on that, we check in with Sophia.
Well, Craig Counsell was asked that question, that even with the expanded rosters in September, if he was worried that his bullpen was getting a little thin, and he said he felt that they were still in a good position. He pointed out he's had multiple relievers go multiple inning appearances, he said, with the short starts. So he said, prior to last night, JJ and Will, their last appearance had been on Tuesday earlier this week. So he said we have used a lot of guys. Where they're concerned is Tuesday. They're going to do a bullpen start there. So it's after that there may be a concern.
Well, you got plenty of guys that you can go to in a spot start. You got Cravey out in the bullpen. You got Kyle Loth. Those guys are long relievers right now. Both of them starters. And you never know. You might see a guy coming up from the minor leagues. Who knows?
Yeah, there are some candidates there in Biloxi that could make a trip to the big leagues.
But he did say it was going to be a bullpen game. And I quote, I think he's just saying that now.
I think at this very moment he believes that, but that might change.
Right.
Guess it all depends on what happens in the next couple of days. There's a called strike 3. Boy, Jeffress impressive. Zips right through him between Smith and Jeffress. 2 clean innings in the 7th and the 8th.
RBIs on the day. The Brewers lead 6-4, trying to break an 8-game losing streak. We're getting set for Brewers Live coming up after the ball game, our post-game report. And with all the injuries, Augie, you look at the lineups the last few days. Finally, a veteran like Adam Lind steps in today, and a big game at the plate for him with those 3 hits.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. When you talk about home cooking, he likes hitting here at Miller Park, hitting over 340. He's hit his 43rd multi-hit game today. Really swinging the bat well.
I like you got the stats all fired up and ready to go, don't you?
Well, you told me before the game I should follow them.
Well, they are working. And we may be talking about a very similar subject, if not this one, with Rock when he comes aboard on Brewers Live for our Menards Big Money Moments. And why not? The Brewers a big 5th inning, and Adam Lind also a big day at the plate. We'll hear from Craig Counsell. Plenty more coming up after the ball game, Brian.
All right, Craig, thanks. Putting a lot of pressure on Rock for the big money moment today. That's a little excessive.
I didn't know I was going down there for that.
Today's the day.
Day of rest. Today's Sunday.
All right, Rock, it's Jumbo Diaz now on to pitch for the Reds in the 8th.
Or as you said in the pregame show, it's Domingo today.
It's Domingo's day. It is Domingo.
Well, Jumbo Diaz in his 55th game. He got sent down to the minor leagues for a short stint, a 408 earned run average. Big fastball slider. You've seen him get it up there at about 99 to 100 miles an hour. He's got the 8th.
Logan Schaefer leads off. The hard-throwing Jumbo Diaz. Schaefer's had a good day. 2 hits and a walk. He scored a run. Rewarded with a start today, and he's responded.
He's been swinging the bat pretty well since he's been called up. Much better than he has in his previous opportunities here with the big league team. Seems to be a little bit more patient at the plate, hitting the ball where it's pitched, barreling the baseball up a lot more.
How about the job Smith and Jeffress did today, securing the 7th and the 8th. 6 up, 6 down.
Kind of what they've been doing all year, isn't it? I mean, they both have had their speed bumps and have had their hiccups, but for the most part, they've been very dependable. And now hopefully K-Rod can get through the 9th.
Under the watchful eye of Lee Tunnell, the bullpen coach. Diaz walks Schaefer.
Schaefer's been on 4 times today.
2 walks, 2 hits. Starts the inning with a walk, and that'll bring up the hottest hitter in the lineup, Adam Lynn. He was driven in 3 on 3 hits. Lynn now with 84 runs batted in. That ties Ryan Braun for the club lead in RBIs. There's a strike. Big fastball from Diaz in there. Adams been able to raise his batting average to .292 with his 3 hits today. Just a solid season all the way around. .292, 19 homers, 84 runs batted in. Got an OPS around 850. It's been at that level most of the year. And he's remained healthy for the most part.
Yep, he's only had maybe a couple of games where the back was giving him problems where he couldn't play. That was a big question for Lynn entering the season.
Schaefer takes off, throw to second, short hops, and Schaefer with a stolen base. His first of the year. And now he's in scoring position for Adam Lynn.
Had a good jump. Man, Diaz taking a while to get rid of it. And that ball got to second base on the fly. Might have been out, but that short hop made Suarez pick the glove up. That's a real good jump for Logan Schaefer, and he's able to get into scoring position. Watch the glove of Suarez. Has to go up because of the short hop.
Chance to add to the lead. Lind already with 3 runs batted in. He's driven in half of the Brewers' runs today. And it's ball 4. Lynn draws the walk. Back-to-back walks. 2 on with nobody out for Martin Maldonado, who will pinch hit.
Hey, Marquette Cap Night is back. This special ticket package includes a ticket to the Brewers' Friday, October 2nd game against the Chicago Cubs, plus a one-of-a-kind Marquette-themed Brewers hat. All for just $16. For tickets, go to brewers.com/Marquette.
Nobody in the Reds bullpen. This is Jumbo's inning. Maldonado pinch hits. Martin hit a 3-run home run earlier on this homestand against the Cardinals.
That gives you an idea where Ryan Braun is today. Brewers using their only other catcher. Bit risky. So no Ryan Braun. Lucroy not available. Herrera not out. So Maldonado was it.
He's thrown 12 pitches. 9 of them have been outside of the strike zone. Swinging a foul. Maldonado in a 1-2 count.
Foul tip right off the forehead of Barnhart.
Ouch.
Not much to say about that. I mean, it is what it is, right? Those don't feel good.
Way inside. All that pine tar on his helmet. No batting gloves, but a full helmet of tar.
Starting to look like the Ozzie Guillen helmet.
Craig Biggio. 2-2 the count. And a drive into right field. That's slicing. Jay Bruce can't get it. And it hops out. A ground rule double. An RBI for Maldonado. He makes it 7-4. 2 walks and a double in this 8th inning.
Yeah, good for Maldonado. Probably gets that batting average over 200 at this point. Taking that pitch to the opposite field. Fell behind quickly 1-2 and able to get a fastball and slice it away from Jay Bruce. So a couple of walks, a double. The Brewers able to tack on a Badger Mutual Insurance run. Now a 3-run lead.
And second and third. Nobody out for Domingo Santana. Reds are forced to bring their infield in. Tough day for Jumbo Diaz. Has not recorded an out. 2 walks and a double. Brewers can bust it open here in the 8th. And Santana left field. That ball's sinking fast. And it's down. It's a base hit. Lind is in. Domingo Santana with that top spin liner. Eats up Duvall. And it is now 8-4 Milwaukee.
They got a late break on that ball out into left field and a little inexperience out there. Duvall not able to make the play on this. And Santana thought that was going to be an out. But as it got out there, it kept sinking a top spin liner. And Adam Lind comes around to score. So both of the 2 walks have come around to cross home plate. Came close, not able to come up with it. Brewers now with a 4-run lead, and Francisco Rodriguez has sat down.
Brewers got to get Domingo Santana to start running out ground balls and fly balls, not give up so soon. He could have been at second base there easily.
Yep, you're right.
Don't take it for granted. Just run till you know it's an out.
Yeah, good call. Got to run hard. Just in case they make a mistake, just because it's going to be caught doesn't mean you don't have to run.
Hernan Perez will bat. Reds finally get a reliever up, Ryan Matthews. That should have been an out, but Duvall is not comfortable as an outfielder. And with the sun as it is and the top spin on that baseball, he missed it. And Santana, when it left the bat, he just assumed it was going to be an easy out, thinking he might have had a chance at a sac fly.
I'm happy with just cruising on in the first base.
All you got to do is show him the video right there. Just show him that clip. All eyes are watching. Cameras are on you. He's got a lot to offer, Santana. So hopefully he'll use it as a learning experience. Because he can play, no doubt.
You can't give up on plays, no matter whether it's running the bases or in the outfield. You just got to keep busting it until the play's over.
And there he goes, and a swing and a miss. The throw to second, and the ball is out of the glove of Phillips. So Santana ends up at second base with a steal, which is his first. And the beat goes on here.
Good throw by Tucker Barnhart. Just not sure where Brandon Phillips is. He's way in front of the bag. Kind of a fundamental breakdown in this game as it goes on tonight. I mean, you're not going to get an out right there. You got to be on the bag at least.
Perez strikes out for the first out of the inning. Here is Sardinas. Got a chance to drive in some runs here. 3 ribbies as a Brewer this season. Singleton scored in the 5th. He reached on a walk in the 7th. He's 1 for 3 tonight. They're going to go ahead and walk him here intentionally to set up a double play chance. We're keeping an eye on the Biloxi Shuckers, the Brewers AA team. They are trailing 4-2. That's game 4 of a best-of-5 series. Shuckers are a win away from winning the Southern League title. We'll keep track of it. All right, bases loaded. Nevin Ashley. Big chance for him right here. All those years in the minor leagues. Gets an at-bat with the bases loaded. Ashley reached on an infield hit in the 7th inning. His second hit as a big leaguer. 0-2 the count.
And did just rearing back and letting it fly with a fastball.
One man out. No balls, 2 strikes on Ashley. Got a piece. Hanging tough. There's a guy who is enjoying every minute in the big leagues, appreciating every day he's got here. Spent some time in the Reds organization back in 13.
And looking to give the Brewers their knockout punch on the Reds here today. Base hit should do it.
And down he goes. Ashley strikes out. Out number 2 of this 8th inning.
And first breaking ball that Diaz threw to him, not able to lay off of it. You see the release point, the slider going down and away, and just tried to hold up but couldn't.
Both of the outs are strikeouts. Here is Shane Peterson with 2 outs. Base is still loaded. Brewers have 8 runs on 13 hits. Had a 5-run 5th. Peterson on the ground. Suarez across and in time to end the inning. So no longer a save situation. We might see Corey Knebel come in here. We go to the 9th. Fan Appreciation Weekend here at Miller Park on a beautiful Sunday in Milwaukee. Brewers baseball presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. To the 9th we go. The Brewers trying to snap a losing streak of 8 before they head to Chicago to face the Cubs. Maldonado, after his RBI double, will stay in to catch this final inning. The Brewers are hoping this is a final inning, and Francisco Rodriguez will pitch.
Well, Craig Counsell don't want to mess around. He didn't want to give the Reds any sign of life, so he's going to bring his closer in. K-Rod last pitched on Thursday against the Cardinals. It was an extra innings loss to St. Louis. He tossed the scoreless 9th inning, gave up a hit, struck out a batter.
Has been 10 days since the Brewers last won a game. Last Thursday in Pittsburgh. 0-2 the count on Barnhart. A lot of injuries to deal with. Craig Counsell has been challenged greatly this year. No balls, 2 strikes to count. And a jam shot, pop up, long run for Logan Schaefer. He's got it. And the first out. So we're on the road tomorrow, and don't forget that is a night game. All 3 games at Wrigley are evening starts. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Hamill and Peralta tomorrow. The Brewers aren't quite sure who will start on Tuesday against Jake Arrieta. And then Hendricks and Davies will match up on Wednesday. Those are big games for the Chicago Cubs, and the Brewers would love to go in there and spoil the party a little bit. Skip Schumacher takes strike 1. Breaking ball, strike, a dandy. That Cardinals-Cubs game is in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Cubs are down a run with the bases loaded and nobody out. A Cubs comeback means a sweep of the Cardinals. Boy, wouldn't that make things interesting?
Yeah, make last 2 weeks of the season pretty exciting. At least for a couple of cities anyway.
Cubs could get within 4. The Pirates could get within 3 if that happens. Pittsburgh and Los Angeles are tied at 2. Pirates Dodgers are in the 3rd inning. Pittsburgh has Garrett Cole on the mound. The night game tonight is the Yankees at the Mets. Matt Harvey and CC Sabathia. It's a good one. Toronto has lost today. Red Sox beat them. So the Yankees could get within 2.5 of the Blue Jays with a win tonight. Twins snapped their 5-game losing streak. They beat the Angels 8-1. So they are now tied with the Angels, but both teams are behind the Astros. Astros won today 5-1. So the Angels and the Twins are a 1.5 games back of that second wild card spot. Yankees occupy the top wild card position in the American League. Shattered bat, look out. The head of the bat hit K-Rod, I think. Schumacher's out on a 4-3 ground out. Well, the head of that bat was helicoptering right at Frankie Rodriguez.
The second time we've seen that happen to a Reds hitter. Suarez blew one up early in the game, and look at this. Look at it. That's all that's left. Let's see if he gets hit.
Oh, it missed him barely. Man, that's scary.
Yeah, look at that. That big point on there. Boy, that could be dangerous. That could really create a problem for you. That ball, that bat comes and hits you with that point.
Wow.
Right over his back.
It's like a scene out of some kung fu movie right there from the side. Pulling the Matrix, did he? Reds down to their last out. Brian Pena pinch hitting and a swing and a fly ball. Shallow center. Sardinius over the shoulder with an exclamation point. A beautiful defensive play. Ball game over. Losing streak over as well. K-Rod makes it a 3-up, 3-down inning. And the Brewers snap their 8-game slide. They beat the Reds by a final of 8-4. And that makes a winner out of Ariel Pena, whose first 2 big league wins have come against the Cincinnati Reds. Brewers win the season series over the Reds. 10-9 this year. And now they hit the road to Chicago on their way tomorrow. Craig and Sean standing by. It's time for Brewers Live. Take it away, Craig.
Okay, BA, good win today for Milwaukee. About time things started going Milwaukee's way. And we saw it. We'll review the game. Get reaction from Craig Counsell and the crew. All coming up next. Brewers Live postgame.